Among Us, Sussy Baka, ooh, doing tasks together, No, so before Among Us became a meme, big YouTubers like Tommy Tubbo and Corpse played it. This game blew up like out of nowhere, and from my research, going to Google Trends for 12 seconds, it blew up like 2 years after it came out. That's insane for an indie game from this corporation. I think though they kind of lost it. They couldn't really keep updates going because they were working on other projects, and that's fine. Um, I think the real reason that this failed was the community. Like, Among Us cringe became incredibly popular, and well, look at this for a hint.
Acting sus with no one around.
I was in comms, I was with AOC.
Oh, don't you dare marinate me.
I don't like the sound of that.
Streaming, time to reject. Unanimous vote, Dr. Disrespect.
I really feel bad. Like, Among Us is fun, and I think if the internet were smaller, it would have thrived. It's a really good game, but let's look at it almost a year after it first became big, back in 2020. So yeah, with that minute info done, let's play the game. Let's play the game like the mindless cretins we are. Alright, so hopping into this, it's game one. So yeah, I'm playing as the crewmate, I think. To be honest, I never really played Among Us much. After maybe like the first week, and maybe in total, I've probably played like 5 games. It's not. Among Us was never big for me because I think that Among Us was only good for people for a little while, because once a game gets big, the community gets filled with tryhards, and when you get filled with tryhards, eventually you're not going to have fun. I mean, just look at Fortnite, for example, which, if you want 10 likes, and I'll do a video on Fortnite, similar to this. But if you look at Fortnite, like, Fortnite was based off of a good concept, and Fortnite Battle Royale was really good. But then when they added the means to become much better than people, the skill gap increased. For example, when they added Playgrounds mode. Now, Among Us didn't have that, but you could play with your friends and learn. It gave you the option to practice for competitive games. I don't really know. But Playgrounds, all of a sudden after it was released, like, say, give it a week, and you fire on a kid, and all of a sudden he's built the White House, right? That's what Among Us was like. People were memorizing the time it took the average person to finish a task. They were memorizing every map, every room. Like, yes, I get that. Like, I play Siege a lot. I've memorized a couple of the maps. I know a lot about the game. And it's not like I'm brand new to the game. It's just I know where things are and I understand how things work. So, yes, Among Us being big, kind of attributed to its failure because enough players tried to try hard it and it just wasn't fun anymore. But it also attributed to the success of the game. If Among Us hadn't been big in the first place and people hadn't started tryharding, it wouldn't have been such a challenging game. As you see in the later clips of my footage, like, now, I was voted out like, so fast. I think I got like 1 kill off as imposter. I got killed, and that was it. Like, people really know their stuff. Like, I don't really know how to get away with it, and it's not like I'm gonna watch like a how to play Among Us game. Like, no, that's not how it's gonna work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play Among Us, and eventually I'm gonna figure it out. But I'm probably not, because Among Us is kind of dead. Um, Though it was kind of lucky, I got imposter twice, which I found kind of cool. I mean, playing imposter is probably the best part of the game. Getting to pretend that you're a good guy and then killing your friends is probably the most solid thing in the game. I really liked it, at least. It was kind of fun. Um, so what are some differences and what are some similarities between Among Us last September and Among Us now? Recently, there have been a couple of updates. A pretty big update, which meant you can't really change your name. You just have a name unless you're playing as guest, which it just gives you a name. I really hate this new system that you're seeing on screen now, where I talk, because you have to use this dial, and it's like a MMORPG, like speak with the person thing. It doesn't work like that. Like Among Us was good because you could express yourself properly. You could type in 20 letters, and all of a sudden, uh, either you were being blamed or you were lying to people perfectly. I think Among Us is interesting in that regard. There's also a new map. Now, the people who made Among Us also made the Henry Stickmin collection, and that was one of the things that they were working on when Among Us really blew up, which kind of feels bad because maybe if they weren't working on that, they could have held the success of Among Us, but also, like, it's Among Us. Like, people like Among Us. It's not gonna fail immediately because they're updating it, because Among Us doesn't really need updates. There's no balance issues because it's all about your skill. It's not about the game, right? And there's no broken way to win, except for maybe double kills. But even then, like, that's nuts. Like, you have to really try for a double kill, and you don't really see much of that. And it's not like Among Us is an esport, so it needs those updates. But there was nothing really new until this map showed up. Right, and here's the big thing. Dead body reported right after I'm killed. I'm doomed. I have to do this, like, weird, like, spin thing, and I don't like it. It doesn't end up well. I think I could have, I think personally, I could have done better, but also, like, Among Us has changed. People are too skilled at it. The people that are still playing are people who blew $20 on it, and now don't want to leave it because they spent money on it and they're good at the game, because they were there at the beginning and they have honed their skills over the last year. So, as a conclusion, where do I think Among Us is right now? I think Among Us is at a stage where no one's ever going to play it as big as it was. I think Among Us is a dead game, and there's no real chance of bringing it back. But there is a chance of updating it. I think if there are enough updates and the game fundamentally changes, like more maps and stuff like that, I think Among Us can completely change. And I honestly think Among Us is a solid game that was kind of given up on by the community. And if things had gone different, I think it's a solid game. I really do. So yeah. Alright, that's the game. If you're still here, thank you. Follow me on Twitch at No Reasonable ID. Link will be in the description, of course. Maybe even a follow. Hit that like button for me to do this series more, talking about games that kind of like fell off in popularity but were once considered kings. Yeah. Also, leave any suggestions in the comments, and I will see you in the next time, gamers.